you go and understand why is it that someone is borrowing money to be able to acquire this particular property. So that's something that made me love this particular industry, because you get to understand a lot of things, and you get to understand how some things work, how some things evolve.
Okay. Now, you're already in the real estate industry. First of all, take us through the progression you had there till the point to Kajiambia, like, okay, it's now for me now to set up my own shop.
Okay. In the real estate industry, before, just as you said, before setting up shop, I worked for, I think, about 4 companies, 4 different real estate companies. And every time you transition, you learn. So unapata that definitely takes you places. And you see, just as you said, with having that small background business all the way from high school, at some point you tell yourself that I think I can do this thing. And you see, generally, real estate is an industry that is a good industry, but has disappointed some people, unfortunately. People when wamekuwa defrauded of land, unaambiwa ndipo pesa utapata hapa, then you end up not getting it. It happens. So for me, one of the things when I decided now to set up shop, it was a decision that I've been toying with for, I think, before, for me, it started in around 2017, 2018. I was just toying with the idea, the concept, and all that. So when I finally decided now to set up shop, I talked to a few friends. Definitely, it's important to seek guidance, to understand what it is that you have to do. I talked to a few friends, here and there, trying to see how to go about it. But one of the main things for me, going into it, was I knew a lot about what to do. Definitely, for any business, most people have that background in the same way. Utapata mtu ametoka real estate ameenda kufocus hospitali. Definitely appear. A doctor atatoka probably from the public eye and able to go private practice. So definitely unapata you must have that history. But for me, it was about what not to do.
Okay.
What not to do, because people have been crying about this field. Napata kitu anasema hivi, wengine anasema hivi. So for me, I had to stick so much with what not to do to ensure that I'll be able to set up shop, but as well to deliver. Si ile kazi yenye utafanya leo, kesho upotea. And when you come to real estate, land matters are very close to the heart for most people.
Yeah.
And I've come to realize, depending on where you come from, there are people who value life more than land. There are people who value land more than life. So ukisimama katikati yake na shabate, my friend, hata kuoni kama kutu. So unapata, that is one of the things that I have to know what not to do, because I have to make sure that coming into this, I'll not be like any other talk ticket. You have to be different. You have to show the difference, not just in what you say, but in what you do. Yeah.
Okay. Now, before I ask the next thing, first of all, plug kampuni. Plug kampuni. Tuambie jina kampuni.
Yes. The company director of is called Nyumbani MTS Ltd. It's a real estate company, me being a realtor by profession. We offer services in selling your land, buying a home, selling a home. But you also offer services in architectural structural design. Hiyo ni ile uchoraji ya nyumba. I offer services in construction, and as well we offer services survey and conveyance.
Oh,
Yeah.
now, you've made the decision. It has been concrete in your mind.
Yeah.
I am now starting my business.
Yeah.
Yeah. What was the scariest thing for you as you jumped into now that new phase?
The scariest thing is, especially when you're moving from employment, is resources. Because now you do not have the month-to-month resources in Kavini to allow you to, say, probably settle your bills or be able to do this and that, be able to buy something new, have something probably for entertainment. That is basically the scariest thing, because you find that when you're in that kazon, you're basically comforted. But you see, like for me, it was scary, but it is something I just had to. I felt a very great conviction. I just had to do this. Yeah.
Okay. Yes. Very interesting choice of words. You did not. You had to do.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why did you feel like not that I wanted to do it? Obviously, there was the want there.
Yeah.
But why did you feel like there's a need for me to have my own and to do this?
I felt the leap so much because having worked with various real estate companies, I felt I had to do it because there is a concept that was greatly stuck in my mind. And that concept was basically, apart from making sure I offer genuine products, there's a concept I had of starting a company whereby we can offer everything in-house. Myself, I'm not a surveyor, neither am I an architect, neither am I an engineer or so. But I can be able to work with professionals to make sure that you offer everything in-house. And more than that, I need to also vet the people I'm working. I have to know their history, I have to know this and that. Why? For the purpose of ensuring that we deliver. You see, the real estate industry, one of the most important factors is delivery. You know, you can start. It's easy to start everything. But delivery is the key thing in our line of work. Most people can start, but they never finish. They never deliver to the client. So for me, I felt like I really had to do this because I felt that this concept needs to see the light of day. It needs to happen. And you see again, the place where all the great ideas lie is the cemetery, because most people have great ideas, but they never end up executing them.
Okay.
So I said I don't want to let this idea die with me. I have to do something. I have to take that step, as scary as it could be. I have to take that leap, take that step, but be able to do it. Yeah.
Now, speaking of some of the things you started, Father Abraham, and you also have a family.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, how does that tie into? Because it's one thing being not only just a business person, even being employed.
Yeah.
It's one thing being employed as a bachelor.
Yeah.
It's another thing being employed or being in business as a family.
Yeah.
What for you? How do you find like the work-life fact? It's a concept many people hear about, but it is only when you're in it that you can say, okay, I need to do this different because now see me with again. Okay.
I think one of the things I'll start by saying is there's an entrepreneur I highly admire. A guy from South Africa is called Vusi. Say I love Vusi. Kapisa. And one of the things that I can say or tell any other person out there is finding that work balance, family balance is not easy. It is tough. When I was working, there are times that I was posted out of Nakuru. So you find that you try so much to make sure you're back in Nakuru over the weekend just to see the family. There are some weekends you definitely don't come because probably you don't have the resources to come. You prefer to stay where you stay. So it's usually tough. Now, it gets tougher when you're in business. It gets tougher, especially if you're in a young business, because you see, if you've transitioned from being self-employed business owner to entrepreneur, it gets slightly easy. Most you have systems in place to do something, so you can find time, make time hapo katikati. But as you're starting out, it becomes way tougher than one would have anticipated, because you see, you with business you have to give it your all. You have to show up. You have to put in the extra hours, because either way, whenever you want something to succeed, you have to do something extra. That's why people talk about extraordinary. You have to be extraordinary in what you do to ensure that you can make a mark. So that is why you find it's always a bit tough trying to find that balance. But at the end of the day, you have to, because you see, you can't let, especially in the family side, you can't let that slide, because that is, I've seen it for most people, that's what keeps people rooted. Because you see, you never really do this for yourself. You're doing it for the next generation. Like me, one of the things that I love is I love when I see a fellow realtor coming to ask me on advice 1, 2, 3. They probably want to transition to start something of their own. I love that. I personally like offering them advice, because you have to have that naturally kind of up to yourself, so that, because you find that it will help you grow as a person as well. The reason why I love that is when you engage with someone one-on-one, you'll realize there's something this person knows that you don't. So you're basically feeding off of each other. So just coming back to your question, the balance between work and family life, it gets tougher as you start a business, but just like every other thing in this world, it's all about the effort. You have to put the effort there. Yeah. For most people who do not know, they might think that things will just be normal. But I would say you just need to prepare your family. That's one thing I think I foresaw. I told my family it won't be easy. You prepare them, you tell them it's going to be tough. Probably won't be as available as I was. Probably resources will be tighter than they were before, but we'll definitely make it work. That way you find a way to make it work. Okay, well.
Now, you set up shop, whatever. One thing that almost no person who is in business can avoid is pitfalls.
Yeah.
What was the, let me say, the biggest pitfall you've encountered being in the real estate industry, having set up your own business thus far, that you are able to come out of?
I think for me, one of the greatest pitfall I can say I've encountered now is because when Nyumbani MTS Ltd started as a partnership, so you find along the way, one of the partners lost the vision. For me, the vision was set very, very clear. And when I started out, when I was toying with the idea of a business, I knew the company would be called you, but that one I knew for a fact. And when you were even talking with my partners who started out, niliwaambia, this company has to bear the name back. The rest of the details I don't. but lazima itaitwa Nyumbani. So unapata all of the partners lost that vision, probably because they vision something different. We wanted the same wavelength or so, but they lost that vision. So that took the company back, because you see, you find that you have to change premise, do this, do that. It was a tough period actually for me, because for a period of about 3 months or so, the company did not have a base of operation. So mali huko ndo kafurishiko. Yes. So and this field of ours is very brutal. You see, there are things that whereby you can offer your services without necessarily being based somewhere.
Yeah.
Zingine kama hii real estate, you cannot.
Yeah, because nobody nakakon.
Lazima ukue na ofisi man. Nobody will trust you if you don't, because it's a sensitive field. So mtu ataona, you can sell me property, it disappear tomorrow. There's nothing like that. Na kutafuta mtu na namba ya simu si kitu siku hizi. So that was the greatest challenge that I had for a period of about four months or so. The company did not have a place of operation. But coming out of that, you find it's just about your willpower, the determination that you have to make this work. I'll be very honest, today Nyumbani is not where I want it to be, but we are headed there. Because for me, I appreciate the day-to-day weeks. Because you see, when you go through most of these things, challenges here and there, because you see, sometimes you can even have an office, but even lacking right for that office is a challenge. But I've learned to count the blessings every day, because there are so many things that I would say I have that so many people do not have. So you need to appreciate that and and keep pushing, because tomorrow is a different day. And God will bless you tomorrow. Yeah.
Okay. We have around 6 or so minutes left on the episode. 10, 15 years from now,
Yeah.
where do you see but
What?
and yourself?
Myself. I'll start by saying I see the company Nyumbani MTS Ltd doing great things. One of the things that I've always envisioned Nyumbani do is doing affordable housing in the country. So I visualize having a lot of projects offering affordable housing. The affordable housing in the affordable houses.
It's affordable housing at 2 million.
So affordable housing ile ya ukweli. We want to work with different partners, stakeholders, to ensure that this becomes a reality. Because most, if not all, Kenyans dream of a home, a decent home for that matter. So I see ourselves actually having delivered on some of these projects of affordable housing and doing even more. I see us doing big projects. I see us delivering not only on the front of development, but also on other matters as well. Because definitely along the way, different ideas coming, and I would love to see what we transition into. Definitely real estate is my field. Definitely I will see the company doing bigger things in the real estate industry. But there's also that unknown element. And I would love to find out what more we can be able to do. Definitely working with different partners and different players. Because you see, as you grow and as you do good things, you find that you attract more people. Also, different people come with different ideas. And I would really love to see what different ideas would have. Myself, I think, just as I said before, I would want to be able to get to that place where I am no longer just, I need to proceed in this space to see. I want to be able to give other people a platform, an opportunity to also run with it. And not just other people that I meet, even my kids. I want them to be this safe in this same industry. Let them feel to enjoy it and run with it at the end of the day. Yeah, just as you were saying, when you push our kids about profession, push them even into professions of what you are into. I could have failed to become an engineer, but my kids can become engineers. My kids can become architects, and so on and so forth. So that is how I see the future. Yeah.
Okay. Now, very last thing, and this I have the privilege to ask Osababu. We are related.
Yes.
First of all, come on, you're the middle child.
Yes.
Smart dab in the middle of that. Favorite child or mom? Jibu in 3, 2.
That's very unfair.
Kila mtu hapa anajua jeep. Sisi tunajua jeep. At least mimi nadhani najua jeep. Unadhani nani favorite child? Wa kwanza, wa pili au wa tatu?
Wa kwanza.
Sawa. Sawa, inabidi. Sawa. So I think tutamalizia hapo. Thank you so much for your time. So I hope to get another opportunity to continue this conversation. But as I had, there's a lot we have not yet even scratched the surface on here. So maybe at some point in the future, we will have a continuation of this conversation. Awesome. Okay. And for everyone else, tune out in the next episode.